Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some news coming out from Germany. So, we're going to be talking about the German defense minister. His name is Boris Pistorius. That's him right there in the photo for you. So, I've talked about him many times before, but recently, just today, we've got a report of him coming out speaking to Parliament, and he told that Germany must prepare for and be ready for a possible war by 2029. Okay, that's what he was warning German Parliament right now. And apparently, the reason why he's saying 2029 is that supposedly there was some news came out that Russia could potentially be recovered from this war in Ukraine within a 5 to 8 year period after, let's say, the war ends or from now until then. So he's giving Germany approximately 5 to 8 years, but on the low side, 5 years. Be ready for war by 2029 due to that, and then also the all the Russian threats that have been happening lately. Russia saying don't cross these red lines, don't strike our territory, don't send troops to Ukraine. Lots of nuclear threats coming from Russia. So, he's also coming out and warning that they need to reinstate conscription in their country. And he says it's crucial for improving the combat readiness of the German army. So, he's also talking about reinstating conscription, boosting their troop numbers, refilling their ranks. And, it's just obviously Germany needs to step up their game. We know that their defense spending is not extremely high. Following a lot of NATO countries, there many countries are not prepared for war right now. Should war break out, but Russia's economy isn't a wartime economy right now. Okay, they're spending a lot of their national income on defense spending. Okay, and many other countries in the West are not doing that. So he's calling on Germany once again to start getting prepared for a potential war in the future. They say 5 years from now, but it could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week, in a year from now, or sooner. Who knows? So it could happen at any time. And he's saying they need to get prepared for this. So I've got an article that we're going to be going over here. Let me get this pulled up for you, and this is going to be on Politico. And here it is right here. It says Germany must be ready for war by 2029. Defense Minister warns we must not believe that Putin will stop at Ukraine's borders, Boris Pistorius says. So we've heard that same thing many times. I think there was even the Estonian, was it the prime minister? I think it was the prime minister, some top leader from Germany. Excuse me for forgetting who it was, but it was a top leader in Estonia recently. And she was warning that there is no plan B for the Ukraine war, that they need to stick to plan A, which is keep supporting Ukraine now, which is kind of the same thing that Boris Pistorius is going off of, that there is no plan B. And if there is a plan B, that's obviously the worst outcome. They want to deal with plan A right now, which is boost defense spending and provide whatever weaponry Ukraine needs to fight this war so they can defeat Russia. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has said his country must prepare for war because of increasing Russian threats. We must be ready for war by 2029. News magazine Der Spiegel quoted Pistorius as saying in the German parliament on Wednesday. His comments come amid heightened fears among European countries, especially those in Eastern Europe, about potential Russian aggression extending beyond Ukraine. We must not believe that Putin will stop at Ukraine's borders when he gets that far, Pistorius said. In recent days, the German army's chief inspector, General Carsten Brewer, said it would take 5 to 8 years for Russia to reconstitute its armed forces from the grinding war in Ukraine, putting a 2029 deadline on NATO efforts to prepare for possible combat. So they're saying 5 to 8 years for Russia to constitute its armed forces and refill their ranks, replenish their supplies, things like that. They're giving it 5 to 8 years for Russia to be ready to go to war against NATO if need be. In an emergency, we need defensive young women and men who can defend this country, Pistorius said Wednesday. During a recent visit to Lithuania's city of Pabradė, I don't know if that's how I say that, Pabradė, where German soldiers conduct so-called quadriga military exercises together with Lithuanian, Dutch, and French troops, Germany defense minister said the world is different than it was before February 24, 2022, when Russia ordered its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. For us as I don't know if it's Bundeswehr, I don't know how to pronounce that, the German army, that means that the mission has changed. National and alliance defense is the focus, he said. So that's definitely the focus for a lot of countries that are taking this seriously right now. they are trying to boost their defense. I know the UK just recently did that. Germany's working towards that right now. I feel like they're moving really slow, but they are working towards that right now. And obviously, Boris Pistorius is trying to get their country ready to be prepared for some type of combat with Russia in the near future. So obviously, countries are getting prepared for this. And like I said, I put out a video yesterday talking about these land corridors that NATO's planning to move troops to the front line. So there's lots of news coming out consistently all the time that proves that NATO is getting ready to fight Russia. Okay, this war is coming, and I think they're trying to focus on defense right now more for deterrence than anything to prevent a wider war from happening. But if Plan A fails, where they can't defend Ukraine and then they can't boost their own defense, that's when a war will inevitably happen, is what these people are saying. So I've got one more thing that I want to show you here. We've got a video actually. This is going to be from Boris Pistorius himself speaking here at Parliament, talking about this type of stuff that we're bringing up. So it says here from Anton Gerashenko, Putin's war economy is heading towards another conflict. We must be ready for war by 2029. Minister of Defense of Germany, Boris Pistorius. We must be aware that a Russian victory would cost us all more in the end than our support for Ukraine today, Boris Pistorius said. So we've got a 44-second clip of him talking about all these things and summing up everything that I just talked about for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and we'll talk about it after.
Aber es wird auch darüber hinaus unabweisbare Bedarfe geben. Jeder Euro zählt, meine Damen und Herren. Uns muss klar sein, ein russischer Sieg käme uns alle teurer am Ende als unsere Unterstützung für die Ukraine heute. Und gleichzeitig, das versteht sich von selbst, dürfen wir unsere eigene Verteidigungs- und Einsatzbereitschaft nicht vernachlässigen. Putins Kriegswirtschaft arbeitet auf einen weiteren Konflikt zu. Wir müssen bis 2029 kriegstüchtig sein. Wir müssen Abschreckung leisten, um zu verhindern, dass es zum Äußersten kommt. 3 Themen sind dabei zentral: Personal, Material und Finanzen. Aber es wird auch darüber hinaus.
Okay, so one thing that I want to talk about here towards the end, what he mentions here. 3 issues are central for this: personnel, material, and finances. So those are 3 big things that we were talking about. Personnel, they want to reintroduce conscription to boost their numbers. Material, boost defense spending, and build more weapons, build more, air defense, whatever it is, whatever military equipment that they would need to deter Russia. And then if deterrence doesn't work, then war is the next option. And then for finances, he talked in the beginning here. He said that every euro, where did he say it here? Every euro counts, okay, ladies and gentlemen, is what he mentioned at one point here. Right there, every euro counts, ladies and gentlemen. So that they need to also conserve their cash, conserve their money, and make sure they're allocating money to the right resources to make sure they can make this even happen throughout the next 5 years, assuming that it takes that long before a war breaks out, because it could obviously happen sooner. But like I said, they are doing everything they can to prepare and start at least getting the mindset ready to be prepared for a war, or at least move into a wartime economy, which obviously Russia's already in that mode right now. I think their defense spending is somewhere like 7%, might be a little bit lower than that, but I know it's a lot higher than many NATO nations. And obviously that's to their war, has to do with their war in Ukraine. But what if they maintain that economy? Okay, I did a report just a week or 2 back when the defense minister Sergei Shoigu got replaced. I forget his name, but he got replaced by an economist. And this economist will supposedly be there to help and guide, structure the economy of Russia to move it towards a wartime economy and maintain that, is what I'm thinking that he put him there for, considering that this war could drag on for a very long time. And assuming that if this war ends in Ukraine, obviously that may lead to a NATO-Russian conflict after. But yeah, this is obviously very disturbing news. But at the same time, I think it is right. I think many countries should start preparing for this, for the inevitable, in case it does happen, because we just never know what tomorrow will bring. But let me know what you think down below. Share your thoughts, concerns, and opinions down in the comment section regarding this topic. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.